Peace and blessings. We live in a time where everyone has a right to their voice. We appreciate those who use their voice for the productive development of other people, and we make sure to condemn at all times those who use their voices as a force for mischief or division. Ever since media began, Africa has been misrepresented. Lies have been told through the Western media about everything from the poorest starving children to the most powerful leaders of this continent. Regurgitated propaganda spewing the most vile and highlighting the most negative, often swaying the minds of the global masses to think and expect the worst about Africa. This is not to say that negatives don't exist here, just as they have anywhere in the world, but the scales of production balance in media have always been largely tipped towards the worst. The only difference in today's world is that before it was the Caucasians that would smear our homeland and leaders. Today, our own are doing it to ourselves. Those who've been following me for years can tell you that my organization and I have been involved on every level of bridging the gap since day one on the soil. With over 100 full episodes and programs, we have never shared a single divisive comment, view, or image even once. Our goal has always been solutions, and our results always speak for themselves. So when a person comes to the continent as a repatriate and takes to media outlets with insults and offensive judgment about local people, there is no part of me or anybody I associate with that supports them, let alone do business with them. In fact, when the Negative Nancy rants first started, I was one of the first to contact the sister and warn against her actions, which took place just weeks after our Africa Day interview, and I was met with rude refusal to compromise. I immediately and publicly disassociated myself and have not spoken to her since. Likewise, when inexperienced gossip vloggers based outside the continent joined into the madness, making dozens of amateur videos, continuing to fan the flames while touting unfounded evidence and conjecture, we as people of truth and unity come together to dispel and disassociate with such negativity. After we were named in the title of several of a gossip vloggers' videos, a member of this alliance reached out to invite the gentleman on this show to address his ludicrous public claims. In true fashion, our supporters who enjoy drama-free media from us, we were inundated with requests from our viewers not to allow this divisive and productive personality on our show. We have watched you for years, they said. Don't give this individual a platform for something he's no qualification to speak on. An individual who showed up on YouTube only a few months ago and began getting attention only because of his constant, if not redundant, criticism of a drama he has nothing to do with. What is his real motivation? If sharing truth was his aim, then why hadn't he contacted any of the very publicly visible members of this alliance before jumping to conclusions? If he had true concerns for the people, why would he omit entire sentences from our follow-up statement when he read it on his show? Why not just keep it real? Our collective of long-standing organizations came together to provide support in what we saw to be a crisis, and we made a public commitment that our goal was not to place blame or expose the inner workings publicly out of respect for those who are willing to cooperate with the process. Unfortunately, an accuser has not only disregarded our request to keep the issue off social media, but has also made available copies of the internal review to the aforementioned gossip vlogger, and together they've used this false evidence to claim our alliance is somehow involved. Today, we're going to address those claims once and for all, and then we will be done with this topic and situation for good. Welcome, my co-hosts and fellow members of the Exodus Alliance, Tanya Safir and Koma Esquire, and Gullah Chief Foday Ajamu Mansure to the show. Welcome to the Exodus Radio.
Greetings, brother. Greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wonderful opening. Thank you. And you said a mouthful, and I agree with every single word that you uttered in this opening of this show today. Greetings. Hello, brother Foday.
Peace, peace.
Brother Foday, your
I
mic
think
is off. Your mic is off. You're muted.
there we go.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Hey, sister. Yeah.
What's
Thank
going
you.
on, brother
Rashad,
Foday?
what's
How's it
up?
happening?
Yeah, man.
Black
I
power,
appreciate
brother.
the. Well, I really appreciate the opening the games, or we just want to be straight up. We want to be fair, which is the purpose for this show today.
Right, right, right. This is what we come together for, and these are the types of conversations that need to be had sometimes. There are those among us who enjoy bringing about trouble for whatever reason, and for those of us who have long-standing histories and experience and work put in on the ground, we deserve to be able to defend ourselves against these kinds of things and make sure that the people know the truth.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. And
absolutely.
let me say this. The Exodus Alliance literally did not want to be involved. That's what people don't understand. It's not like we were just sitting around saying, let's throw ourselves in the middle of all this, excuse my French, but y'all know how Sister y'all talk. All of this fuckery, right? So, um, literally, people were contacting us. And even when everything started way back with Art Kathy and that drama, people were contacting us, asking us to issue a statement, to say a word, and we were really reluctant because it's like we don't do drama. That's not our
Right,
thing. We don't do
right,
video. We don't do the video wars. We don't go back and forth. All of us in our own capacity are on the ground trying to help people, like literally.
right,
I
right,
just assisted
Yeah.
a family of 4 from Canada. And now they have their own place and they just left the Sankofa Repet House. And before they left, they told me this coming to me helped them acclimate and get a feel. And now they feel comfortable going out from my place to their own house and
Hmm.
integrating into the society. That the
right,
weeks that they spent here with me, they thought was helpful to them. So
right.
Absolutely.
there's a value. There's value in what. Mhm.
Really quickly, I just want to put one thing to bed, and I've seen this quite a bit in the past few days with this whole, gossip vlogger doing what he does. That somehow people assume that we didn't condemn what was said and done by the sister in the Gambia, and so I just really want to put that to bed for you
We
guys.
did a brother. You did it first. You came out and you did. And matter of fact, you contacted her directly and asked her to issue a public apology. You did that. Okay. So you went to Quasi and told Quasi to also talk to her and ask her to issue an apology. And he said that he would try to talk to her. So I don't know where all
Here's
this
the
money
here's
is.
the post for those who haven't seen it or didn't get it. We don't typically make whole videos about things like this. So this is how we set ourselves apart from this particular individual and made it known. As you see, the first comment there is Sister Ya, who obviously agreed with what's said here. So
And
we just want to go ahead and let that be seen for all of those who are saying, well, why didn't members of the Exodus Alliance speak against this sister when she made these ludicrous videos? There it is, people. Can we put that to bed?
RJ, and don't forget, President General of the UNIACL, along with Chief Foday and myself. I don't remember if you were on that video that day, but we also did a video disavowing any type of, that type of behavior and that type of talk towards the people in the Gambia. So I don't know where people got that idea that we did it. And we only, like I said, we did that because the people asked us, please issue a statement. Let the people know where you all stand on this thing. Because we really were like, man, we try to avoid this type
Yeah.
of negativity stuff.
At all,
We
at
trying
all,
to
because
build.
it's not, and I think a lot of people have this notion that this is about business, that this is about us protecting our business interests. Everybody on this panel are self-made individuals, and
Yeah.
at the same time, everybody on this panel has put in years of selfless community contribution to the continent and her people. And if you can prove me wrong, I challenge you to bring that up.
Yeah.
Everybody on this panel has put in years of selfless community involvement. My brother Foday here has been cleaning the streets of Freetown, building compounds for local people for
Yeah.
years. This brother has been farming in the
Years.
villages, teaching young people how to build their own businesses. My sister Tanya has contributed a portion of her entire purpose to helping other people repatriate, and that's an effort to do so for free.
Brother, years ago, when I first came to Ghana years ago, I put together a booklet that explains how to go through immigration, all the things about moving to Ghana, repatriate, and I gave that book away free. I didn't charge anybody. So, because I had gone through the process and was living here, and people kept asking me questions and how do I do this? How do I do that? So I said, okay, let me put together a booklet. I did that for years and just gave it away to people so that they can have that information. So I don't understand where this. First of
I
all,
think
these
I think
people.
I think what may be in order, and this is up to the people. This is something that we want the people to understand. I think what may be in order is perhaps we should give our individual backgrounds for those who are new followers, for those who haven't actually been standing behind us for years and supporting the work that we've been doing. For those who've just been called into this particular arena because of this nonsense, I think we should take some time to really give a good background on ourselves. Does that sound good, brother and sister?
Absolutely.
I'm open to it. But I've been telling people everything about myself, so that yeah. But I'm willing to do it again because I
we're
consider
gonna, we're
myself
gonna, we're gonna let the sister
I
go
don't have
first.
anything to hide.
We're gonna go ahead and let the sister go first. For those who don't know, my sister here, Sister Tanya Safir and Coma Esquire, she's gonna tell you a little bit about why she's in the position she is in, how she got here, and what work she's been doing for the community. Go ahead, my sister.
Okay, so I'm originally from Mississippi, and I'm an Army brat. I grew up in the Army. All my parents, my mother, father, and my stepfather are all military people, retired military people, and so I grew up in that environment. And then I went into the military myself for a few years to get that GI Bill. And I was honorably discharged. I had a top secret clearance while I was in the military, in fact. So I've had a thorough background check on me, um, as well as the two thorough background checks done by the state of Tennessee and the U.S. Virgin Islands when I took and passed both of those bar exams. My license are in Tennessee and in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I came out of law school, and during law school, I was a law clerk at the Shelby County Public Defender's Office. And then after law school, I became a public defender at Shelby County, Memphis, Tennessee. And then from there, I opened my own law office where I practiced criminal defense work as well as some civil work, family law and some civil stuff. And I did bankruptcies at that time. And I did that for a number of years. When I closed up the law office, well, I didn't close it up. I had a law partner. She stayed and I left and I moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands where I became an assistant attorney general where I prosecuted all types of crimes from murder all the way down to petty thefts, different things like that. So um, I am a legal professional. Okay, I'm currently also a staff attorney for My O International out of Dallas. That's a company that's been doing a lot of work. They get a lot of contracts in different African countries, and so I review those contracts. And let's see. Oh, also, I've been offered a position. I'm here also to set up an office for BSC Book, which is owned by the same CEO of my Oyo International. It's a e-commerce platform business, and they're having an office in several African countries. And the one here in Ghana, I will be the director for that one. So I'm here really also as one of my things is to set that office up and get it running. I initially began traveling to Ghana in 2010, where I met my husband, and we were married in 2012, and we are still now happily married 8 years later. Because I have gone through the immigration and residency process in Ghana, along with my children who have legal residency in Ghana, and we have gone through land acquisition. I've bought land here in Ghana. I've registered 3 different companies here in Ghana. I have a poultry farm, a pineapple farm, which we're taking a break from this year to give the land a break to, sometimes when you're planting crops, you have to wait and let the land regroup and, refertilize itself. So, but we've been doing pineapple farm for about 5 years now. We are part owners and 40% owners in an herbal clinic here in Ghana, and recently registered a construction company here in the country because my husband's family are a family of contractors. That's what they've been doing. His father was a contractor, he's built several houses here around Accra. My husband's cousin builds houses in Takoradi. My husband grew up building, has the whole family. They're steel benders, they are masons, they are contractors, they're plumbers. That's what they do. So my husband and I came to all of them and said, let's form a family company. And we called it Unkama Premier because all of their last names Unkama. And so that's a new company that we just registered and getting going off the ground. These are experienced contractors. So we have a lot going on outside of these things that y'all see us do. Our livelihoods are not based on whether or not you support our programs. And this is one of the fallacies that people are trying to put out there. Like, listen, I tell people this all the time. I would be in Ghana even if I didn't have the Sankofa repatriation. This is not for me. It's for those people who contact me who want to leave and they don't have the resources to do it. So I'm saying let's help them. But, people have things that they make up about you in their minds that are not necessarily true. And sometimes you just got to come out and just, let them know what time it is. So with that being, that's pretty much who I am. I'm a mother. I just turned 50 years old, so I'm not out here playing games with nobody. I got 5 kids ranging from age 30 to 10 years old, and I got 3 granddaughters. Okay, so I'm about business. I'm not about all this drama and all this nonsense that people got going on. We came into this thing to settle this thing.
That's it. That's Sister Ya. Huge asset to the people. And this is, like she says, about way more than business. This sister is an asset to our people from a legal standpoint, being a licensed registered attorney, former assistant attorney general. We're talking about somebody who's prosecuted major crimes in a court of law under the United States Constitution. We're talking about somebody who's practiced law and defended people in a court of law under the United States Constitution. And we're also talking about somebody who spent years on the ground in Africa building homes, creating jobs, connecting and building bridges for years and years and years. We're not talking about an opportunist who just jumped into something overnight just because of the business out of it. We're not talking about, somebody who's been, sowing seeds of division in the communities or creating back channels to, outdo one another. We're talking about a real queen mother right here. Y'all better show some respect.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Right. So we're gonna let Brother Chief Foday, Admiral Mansoure of the Gullah, based in Sierra Leone. We're gonna let him
Yes.
tell you about himself for all of those who have
Yes.
not caught on, on him. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay. Thank you. Well, my name is Chief Foday Jamu Mansoure. I've been a community organizer since my youth. Second generation, followed in my mother's footsteps. Got involved in 1999 in a neighborhood association, and from there was able to get some grassroots training. Fell in love with the ability to actually impact change through organizing. I fell in love with organizing and volunteering to do such. So over the years, of course, after receiving training, I was able to get AmeriCorps training. I'm not sure if everyone out there knows what that is, but it's basically training that they make available to poor communities to combat some of the impacts of poverty by basically training people in those communities who can function as the foot soldiers, basically as the grassroots community organizers. We learn how to identify, define, plan, and then solve problems. And so that's initially what I got involved in doing. But over the years of actually being grassrooted and being involved in trying to make solutions happen, I became politicized as well. I began reading more about the struggle of Black people, the history, and I just became fascinated with the ideal that it's Africa for Africans at home and abroad. It just made so much sense to me. Although I was born and raised in the United States of America, that there is a political ideology, there is a organizational space where people who actually want to see Africans have a total unity and liberation can occupy and make contributions to the struggle. So I evolved into a Pan-Africanist, of course, became an admirer of the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, Patrice Lumumba, Malcolm X, and the greats, as well as even some of the great mothers as well. Queen Mother Moore, what's his sister name? Um, Queen Betty Shabazz, our own queens who have been knocking the struggle down um, in their lives and left us this legacy to pick up. So, just drawing inspiration from the elders and the ancestors as well to make sure that I could be among the rightly guided in my studies and in my work. I got involved with several Pan-African organizations in the early 2000s, basically cut my teeth. I became very politically involved, fighting against gentrification, even back when it was the subprime mortgage crisis in the United States of America, raising awareness about that. We fought against police brutality and even coordinated gang truces and gang mediations to reduce violence in the community. Um, so that was the kind of work that I did in the United States before I got here. Around 2007, I got connected with Sierra Leonean activists who were doing the same thing. And I just immediately began to become an international supporter of the movement here in Sierra Leone and tried to cultivate relationships to make sure that we could break the isolation of African people who's actually struggling at the grassroots to solve the problems. So I got ultimately involved in playing an international support role and at the same time maintaining the organizing that I was involved in the United States of America. In 2009, I came with the ideal to develop a international organization that would function as a network of Pan-Africanists who are connected to the grassroots struggle of our people all around the world so that we could be able to have an information exchange among ourselves. We can begin to swap training and education among ourselves and ultimately partner up on projects and then duplicate them so that we can begin to develop a system of institutions to serve the basic interests of the people again. As a Pan-Africanist, I definitely align closely with the ideology of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. As you see, I have the red, black, green flag behind me. Currently, I'm a member of the UNIACL, I serve as the Freetown president for the Rehabilitating Committee 2020, and also as a West African ambassador within that formation of the UNIACL. I am a Gullah Geechee. That is my cultural heritage and my ethnicity. As a black man from America, my ancestry took me back to the Mandinka people as well as the Bamileke people of Central Africa, Cameroon. Um, and I've just always been involved in trying to make this unity real. And since I've been here in Sierra Leone, I repatriated in 2013, early February 2013. I didn't save a lot of money because I really didn't need a lot of money. I had facilitated strong relationships with Pan Africanists and Pan African organizers here on the ground in Sierra Leone for 6 years before I arrived. And so there was already a support system in place for me, and all I really had to do was come here and get right involved. Um, the Black Star Action Network International was founded in 2009. We originally launched it in 2012, February, and by February 2013, Basani was literally being established on the continent of Africa. And since then, we've done so much here. We've been involved in community activism full time. We've done a lot of work with the youth, a lot of work in terms of crisis response. We was here active during the Ebola crisis, spreading awareness, trying to bring support to the people. We was here during the mudslide, and shortly after that, we sparked an international campaign that we're still maintaining called the Be Clean campaign. Whereas we organize local community groups to clean areas of communities throughout the world now. We actually started it here in Sierra Leone in Freetown, but since then we've expanded. In fact, 3 weeks ago, we had our first international mobilization, which included communities in the Bronx, New York, Washington, D.C., Shreveport, Louisiana, York, Pennsylvania, and Freetown. And we continue to do that and spread that awareness of being clean and African people taking responsibility for our environments and for our social institutions, and really standing on the principle of African sovereignty. You know, it's the sovereignty that has been neglected to our people, and we really have to assume responsibility for that. So, in addition to Basani, I serve as the chief for the Gullah Nation of North America community, a community that was formed in 2015 out of a collective of Gullah Geechee elders and Gullah Geechee youth that wanted to internationalize the Gullah Geechee struggle and break the isolation of the corridor and the federal involvement in kind of controlling the narratives and setting borders and parameters. We wanted to internationalize the Gullah Geechee identity and struggle, and particularly reconnect it to the struggle here in Sierra Leone. So what we did in 2015, Basani, which was then organized here, and Ganona, which was then organized in the United States of America, formed a partnership and launched the Gullah Redemption Mission Sierra Leone as a joint project. Today, the Gullah Redemption Mission Sierra Leone, since July 4th, 2019, has been registered has been incorporated as a nonprofit company. We also have incorporated a travel agency, and we also have incorporated a local community-based organization, whereas we have recruited up to 300 youth right now who are very involved in our programs. Our two primary programs is the Be Clean campaign and the Tools and Seeds Farmers Assistance Project, whereas we've been able to establish a urban farm in Freetown, as well as farming projects within the villages. So at the end of the day, that's who I am. I am a diehard Pan-Africanist. I believe in putting my all into the struggle, and trying to assist other people into doing that, trying to assist other people into bringing their skills. It's not just the financial resources that we have to repatriate. It's also our knowledge. It's also our ability to bring other people and raise more awareness around issues. It's not really our interest to be fighting among ourselves. That's why we, as the Exodus Alliance, we seen the smoke, and we're wise enough to know that not to put ourselves involved in that. I personally I have a different kind of character. I wanted to just directly approach it like, yo, Art, what's up? What's going on? Why are you doing that to our people? Because that's what it is. That's what it is. And I felt the responsibility, but I'm glad that we got to the point where the alliance has taken this position to try to resolve some of these issues that's going on. And I think it's very, very, very important for people to know that these individuals who make up this Exodus Alliance and who are operating the show for you are here literally to serve you and no other reason. We could be doing other things with our lives if it was just about making money or just living in Africa. We're here already. I've been here 8 years. I don't have to help anybody repatriate. You understand? But we're coming together to make sure that not only repatriation and investment is secure for our people, but also to make sure that when problems emerge, that there's a responsible body of Pan-Africanists who have repatriated that can intervene. And before I go, I want to say one more thing, just to really knock a point home. In 2015, in Ghana, there were two elder sisters, two elder women, African Americans, who were repatriates that were murdered in cold blood. I'm not sure of the circumstances behind it, but I really felt like there should have been some mediation before it got to that point. And so the reason why we decided to launch a mediation was because there was threats of violence being made live on public, and we cannot sit down and let this happen. We have no dog in the fight. I don't know Art. I don't know Kwesi. We don't do any business together. If they're wrong, they're wrong. If they're wrong, they're wrong. If they're wrong, they're wrong. We're going to call it like we see it. And that is our service to those who know that we're legit and those who know that we need to step up right now, because if not, there's going to be a whole wave of this after COVID. We're taking a responsible decision right now. Right. And I hope that the people out there who respect us can respect that. Thank you, bro.
That's right. That's right. My brother is a strong voice, a strong force to be reckoned with. Chief of the Gullah community, president of chapter of the UNIA, long-standing repatriate, supporter of community projects, builder of businesses, and a creator of jobs on the continent for years. Thanks a lot, Brother Foday. I want to go ahead and give you guys a little background on me. So again, I'm sure some folks watching are new to our community, are new to our different projects and programs. You may not know any of us. You may only know one of us and not the rest of us. So I want to go ahead and give you an explanation of who I am. First of all, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's special that we can be able to bring you guys content that is valuable. So let me tell you about me. I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I was born in Philadelphia, actually, raised in Atlanta. But over the years, over about 15-year period of time, I ran several successful media marketing businesses throughout the U.S. I ran national sports campaigns for the Memphis Grizzlies, the St. Louis Cardinals, tons of pro football and basketball and baseball teams around the country. Also a lot of Fortune 500 companies, telecommunications companies, restaurants, Walt Disney World, tons of, major organizations. I essentially got tired of giving my work and energy to corporate America and to these conglomerates that didn't have our best interests at heart. And in 2014, my wife and I and our son, who was 1 year old at the time, repatriated to Senegal, West Africa. When we came back, let me kind of back up a bit. I was here actually 19 years ago. My first time in Senegal was in 2001. I spent here a full year at that time, living and studying here. I was only a teenager, but it brought me back some 14 years later with my family and for good. Leaving behind what we had established in the States with our own independent businesses and bringing our skills to be able to develop here. In 2014, I started my company, Mahdi Media, here in Senegal. We're a registered entity in the country. We also create an abundance of media across a multitude of platforms that expose the beauty of Africa. We manage a series of television shows, docuseries. We also have several platforms with followers in around 1 million followers on Facebook. But we use that following to draw attention to Africa's little known beauties. One of our first projects in 2014 was the I Am Medina Bai project, where we shot a full docuseries about the spiritual city of Medina Bai, Kaolack, where my family lived for 4 years. In this spiritual city where an American community actually already exists, we were able to get or use our skills in media to develop some type of content that could show this city's beauty. And we became the first and got to go on beautiful travels and conferences and events in the capacity of the media, even welcomed 3 presidents. I covered 3 presidential events in that capacity. In addition to that, I'm the CEO of Made in Africa Project. We started that organization in 2015 as a way to allow the diaspora the ability to shop with, visit, relocate to, or invest in the continent. We're partnered with the National Postal Service. We are the #1 diaspora-owned export company here. We ship out thousands of pounds of local goods around the world every year to retailers who then sell them in the diaspora. So we're a supplier, a distributor to those around the world who are now selling and carrying African products made by African tailors and artisans right here on the ground. We've been able to employ hundreds of locals in various capacities through not just that channel, but our other departments, including travel. We facilitate travel concierge, welcoming diasporans on the ground, giving them tours to not just the tourist sites, but helping them to engage the people with community activities, with specific events that allow them to be able to use their skills here on the ground. We've welcomed celebrity illustrators and a Emmy Award-winning illustrator, African-American brother who came here. We took him to local schools and he gave art classes and taught kids how to draw and how to use 3D digital design. We brought here a eco-strategist, and we took her to rural farms in the countrysides and let her give strategies on water capabilities and these types of things. We've brought here so many different types of personalities that now the people here on the ground have began to not only embrace what we do, but welcome it in their various communities and circles. And so in addition to that, we help members of the diaspora to invest here. We've been doing that for several years. We've helped members of the diaspora to invest in all types of projects, and start their own businesses here and build their own homes here and purchase land and create different opportunities. Many of them are here on the ground now, living comfortably with their families, their children. Many of them have started businesses here and now are contributing to the community economics and development. And so we continue to welcome that type of engagement. For the past few years, we also sponsored and directed the local Give One Project Kaolack office. My partner Pop Lowe and I, as directors, were able to give many children free language lessons, computer lessons, business incubators. We were able to get women who had no business experience, the training that they need to start businesses, and later 15 women were awarded cash to actually go and start businesses that they could use to feed their families. And not only did we give them that funding to start those businesses, but when they did, the products that they created, we helped them to export them through our export service. So not just giving them fish, but teaching them to fish and then buying the fish from them when they catch it. So in addition to that, we were able to build a and open a free community library and youth center with Wi-Fi capabilities for young people. We were also able to open a cafeteria and how can we say, a Wi-Fi accessible coffee lounge where young people were able to come and do their homework and study and create and build. And it was a huge success. Following that, we also use a lot of those same young people to build other businesses here on the ground. They still work with us years later. And if they don't work with us, we've already paired them with other opportunities or prepared them for other opportunities that they've gone on to chase and to follow and to grow in. Now we've also, in 2019, we presented an extensive sustainable repatriate city plan where we're looking to build a 600-hectare city here in Senegal named Al-Kabalan for returning members of the diaspora. That city is an all-inclusive development plan, a 100-year development plan that includes all types of economic development, from manufacturing to agriculture to tourism, and so on and so forth. It's also a plan that doesn't isolate the diaspora returning, but integrates them with locals for the purpose of building community and collective economics. So not somewhere that we want to isolate ourselves and cut ourselves off from the rest of the local population, but a place where we can all mix under modern standards and upgraded facilities and resources. That project is in partnership with the government here and with other skilled professionals around the world who've all chipped in their advice and their resources so that it can be seen through effectively. We're looking to actually begin digging into the ground on that project here in the coming months. In addition, last year I was also the ambassador for Acoin cryptocurrency. I was the #1 ambassador team in the world out of 126 teams. Our team raised more pre-funding for Acoin than any other team in the world. So we, did a great job in being able to assist our brother in launching a currency that has the potential to assist social entrepreneurs here in Africa. And so, that was a great success. In addition, I was appointed this year to ambassador of the State of the African Diaspora, or roving ambassador. And in that role, given a mandate to provide sort of a bridge to our brothers and sisters who are not only abroad, but from abroad and returning to the continent. And that's a capacity that is very necessary because oftentimes you hear us ask, why isn't someone there to represent us? How are we, seen about when we're in, these travels and in these, different places or spaces that we're not used to? And so I gladly accepted that role and given the title of ambassador. And one of the first mandates that we brought forward from that was this Exodus Alliance. One of the first things that I knew was necessary was a multi-collective of organizations who had the experience, who had some type of, community background and people who were champions for this particular cause. And so that's when we brought together this alliance. So in addition to the 3 who are on this call, there are 3 other organizations. So it includes a total of 6. They are the State of the African Diaspora, Marcus Garvey's UNIACL, or the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, which is headed right now by Brother Cleophas Miller, who's actually an ex-NFL football player, played for the Cleveland Browns and a few other teams. And after retiring from the NFL, he took on the reins as the successor of Marcus Garvey. So this brother is a legendary figure for us, and he's been a great wisdom piece to our team. But also, in addition to him, is the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program with Sister Ya, the Black Star Action Network International with my brother Foday, as well as the Al-Kabalan Development Group for the development of that city and our Made in Africa project. And so together as allies, we came together not just to raise funding for the mass and immediate repatriation of the diaspora, but to also create a sort of regulatory body for the protection of repatriate interests and communities on the African soil. All right, so until now, the Exodus Alliance provides a variety of repatriation services, funds several ongoing initiatives, and we do provide mediation as well as management resources for repatriate businesses on the ground. These are all in our collective mandate, and so we are obviously living in our purposes with what we're doing. So that's a little bit about me. So we'll come on back and let me see, my brother and sister, y'all here with me? Okay, there we go, my brother.
Yeah,
all
bro.
right, sister, yeah. Brother Foday.
Boss move.
Chief.
Hey, yeah,
I'm here, brother. That's an impressive bio.
Very.
And
Thank you.
you see, and one thing I want y'all to pay attention to, these things, those of you who've been knowing us for years know these things about us because we share about ourselves openly all the time. You know, RJ's people that's been with him already know these things
Yeah.
about him. The people that have been knowing Sister Yap since way back already know all these things about me. And everybody that knows Chief already knows these things about him. So the only way you don't know these things is if you're just new to, one of us or each of us or whatever. But these are the things that we share about ourselves because we don't have anything to hide about ourselves. So that's a key point because the brother that's been talking noise and claiming that we're biased and all of this and that, this nonsense, I asked him straight up to come on this show because we do not do internet beef. We don't do the battles and going back and forth and making videos about each other and all of that. I contacted the brother and I said, you got a lot to say about the Exodus Alliance. And you're saying basically a lot of nonsense, stuff that's not factually correct and anything. And you got all these people that's just feeding into this nonsense. And so I said, come talk to us face to face. Let's deal with this thing face to face and direct. And so let the people, see what it is. And I asked the brother, send your bio so that we can introduce you to the people so they can know who, you are and where you come from, your pedigree. And he flat out refused. He said he wasn't going to send us any bio on himself. Okay. So to me, I took that as that's very suspicious. Okay. You're making videos and you're talking about us and you're in your own words digging around in people's backgrounds, which you don't have to dig because if you just listen to any one of us or our videos, we tell you everything about ourselves, right? But when asked about you said no. He said no. Basically, I asked for the bio. He sent me a couple of sentences about his channel, like the description of his channel. And I wrote him back and I said, that's not a bio. Where's your bio? Tell us about you. And he said, no, he wasn't. That's it. That's all we were going to get. So y'all need to know that. Okay. Because that's super, super suspect to me. Now, I don't know, RJ, did he ever come onto the thing so we can bring him on and ask him why he refused to give us a bio and tell us about himself? Yes, Mr. Negro Pen. Can you unmute yourself, please?
In the email.
Can you unmute yourself, please?
What did you say, sorry?
Okay. Yes. I'm curious. Welcome to the show. Thank you for accepting my invitation to come on to the show. I want to ask you, because you've had so much to say about us, so it's time for us to, get to it.
Okay.
Why did you refuse to send a bio about yourself?
I didn't refuse to send a bio. I refused to send any private information about myself because of the current situation with people questioning the integrity of your organization. Why would I send my personal information to a
brother?
No, well, I haven't finished answering your question. You're trying to interject.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
I asked
I
you
hadn't
for a
finished.
bio. I asked you for a
I know,
bio
but
so
I'm
that
trying
we
to
can
answer the
introduce
question, and you're
yourself.
trying to interject whilst I'm talking.
Okay, answer the question, please.
Okay, so I didn't send any personal information about myself simply because of the nature of the situation, because of the integrity, people questioning the integrity of your organization and its activities in regards to this audit. So why would I send my personal information like that to an organization?
So wait a minute. Okay, so you're saying that you didn't send your bio, which just about every professional person has a CV or a bio about themselves that they send out. You send it to, if you were applying for a job, you send out a bio. Most of us who go on interviews will send the interviewer a bio about ourselves. That's common practice, okay, in this thing that we do. So your answer why you refuse to send your bio is because of our organization. I don't understand. Because there's a question.
Was that a question? Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't logically make any sense to me, but go ahead.
It makes perfectly logical sense to me. Okay, so I'll try and put it in different words. So your organization has been compromised. It has been compromised.
Okay, stop.
Because
no, wait. You can't go further. How? Where's your evidence that we've been compromised? Bring your evidence right now. Bring it. Bring the evidence that we've been compromised. Don't just say anything, because you can make your mouth say anything. My grandmother used to say, you can make your mouth say anything. I'm an attorney. I need to see the evidence. And who in our organization has been compromised, and where's your evidence that we've been compromised?
Okay, so the audit was
What
supposed
audit?
to...
Which audit?
Excuse me?
Which one?
Which one? Sorry.
Are you referring to? Because we have to be clear. There was an audit done at the request of Sister Phoenix Rain with a brother named Jonathan Biden. Are you talking about that, or are you talking about the independent one that's been done by attorney Shakina Chinadu? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the audit the Exodus Alliance has been taking care of.
Okay, so you're talking about the audit that the attorney in the Gambia is doing, because the Exodus Alliance is not.
I'm talking about the one that was arranged by the Exodus Alliance.
Okay,
the one that
you do know that the Exodus Alliance members are not conducting an audit, right? You know that I'm not doing an audit. RJ is not doing an audit. Chief Foday is not doing an audit. President General of UNIA is not doing an audit. And the State of the Africa Diaspora is not conducting an audit. You do know that. There's an attorney who is not a member of the Exodus Alliance, who doesn't know Kwesi Boyd, who doesn't know Art Cathy, who is not beholden to us. So she's an independent person, and she has found a second auditor, certified auditor in the Gambia, to also conduct a follow-up independent one to hers. So be clear, which audit has been compromised? The one that doesn't have anything to do with anybody, or the one that was given to you by Phoenix Rain?
Okay, I'll answer that question. I just find it kind of funny that your organization makes the assumption that we should just take your word for it too. There is
nobody asked you to take our word for anything.
You haven't shown any proof yourself.
Right, first of all, I need you to.
You can try and shout over me, but it's not. Well, I've been listening to your radio show for the last half an hour, and to be frank, all it sounds like is a group of people damage controlling the situation, which has inexplicably led you into this situation. Okay, nobody asked the Exodus Alliance to get involved in this.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
No,
they did.
No, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Okay.
Sir,
Well,
we have
maybe
tons
Crazy
of
Boy
emails from people who asked us to get involved because the situation was out of control and because the sister was online alleging that people was threatening her life. So yes, people did ask us to get involved. But let me go back because I'm trying to find out from you. You said, and I want to make clear, you said the Exodus Alliance was compromised, and I want you to, before all of these people who are watching, present your evidence that we've been compromised, who in the Exodus Alliance has been compromised, and how has the audit been compromised by the independent auditor? That's what I want to know, because that's what you're saying on your show, so you should be able to back it up.
You're going to let me answer the question, or are you going to shout over me?
Okay. I'm waiting.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and answer that question for you. You can come on here and say that's an independent audit and say that you don't know these solicitors all you want, okay? But people are not just going to make the assumption and take.
Sir, I just want your evidence. All I want is the evidence. Can you give us the evidence?
I'm answering the question. It's coming up to it. This is not a court of
I just want you to give us the evidence.
This is not a court of law. This is the court of public opinion, and this is what
exactly. So we're not doing gossip, sir. We're not going to engage in gossip and conjecture. What we need is your evidence that the Exodus Alliance has been compromised. That's what the people want to see. That's what you've been saying on your channel. Please bring forth the evidence. Bring forth the evidence
on my channel. I gave evidence on my channel.
No, these people want to. What's the evidence?
The evidence is that Crazy Boyd, right, has an association, has a relationship, has some form of connection to your alliance.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's it. That's enough. And
that's a lie. But that's a lie. That's not true. That's a lie.
That's exactly the truth, and I can prove it right now.
That's not true, sir. That's not true.
I can prove it now.
That's a lie. Right now. Where is the evidence? Please, I want to see it. Where's the evidence?
Okay, is he not part of any of your organization? Is he not registered to? Well, you can shout.
No,
I can hear you perfectly. You don't have to shout. Is he not registered to? Give me a second. Made in Africa project. He's registered with you with that.
No,
is he not?
No,
yes,
he's not. No,
he's
not.
Lying. You're lying, sister.
Sir, he's not.
You're lying.
Let me tell you exactly. See, this is all this conjecture and all of this making. Listen, he is not. He is not an investor with Made in Africa project. He is not a member. He is not.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
I literally watched him talk about it during a YouTube live, during an 8-hour YouTube live session that you did back in May.
Okay.
Stop
That's
not part of the organization. I actually posted the video on my YouTube channel. How can you say it's got nothing to do with you?
Thank you. Okay, so let me come back. Let me come in here. Before the Made in Africa telethon, RJ had asked Kwesi if he would be interested in being an investor agent with Made in Africa, and initially Kwesi had agreed, but never followed through, never did any application, never did anything, never did, and they never talked up. Excuse me.
You had contact with him. Sir. So. You can't just say so to that. If you
are you serious?
That means there is a relationship there. That's enough to say that your audit is being compromised.
So wait a minute. So excuse me. So you're saying that because RJ had a conversation with Kwesi about potentially being a member of the Made in Africa project, which never materialized, never happened, had very little contact with him after that, other than to ask him to ask Art Kathy to apologize. Wait a minute, let me finish, because I want to make sure I understand your logic. I need to understand your logic. So based on that, you're saying the Exodus Alliance is compromised.
I'm saying that, yeah, I'm saying if the ambassador of the Exodus Alliance, right, if he has a personal relationship with the person that the audit is going
Sir,
to
that's
be
not a personal
investigating.
relationship.
I'm not going to
So
talk
are you trying to say?
I'm not going to talk
So
about
after
you
today,
anymore,
so
Sista.
after wait a minute, after today, after this
don't wait a
conversation,
minute. You cannot do that. You're talking over.
Oh, wait a minute. I just want to be clear, because you're saying that after today, after you and I finish talking, the fact that we had a conversation means that now we have a personal relationship with each other. Is that what you're saying? Is that your?
I'm saying the fact that we've had this conversation in public, online, in front of thousands of people, is a different situation than somebody coming online and just saying, oh yeah, somebody had a conversation with somebody and it was only this short. There is no proof in that. That's
Okay, but there's no,
don't you?
But listen, you're the one making the allegation, so you need to show proof that they have this relationship. And what I'm telling you is no such relationship exists. You're the one that's going on and making videos and accusing Brother RJ of being compromised based on a conversation that he had with a man way back in May, almost a year ago, and you're saying he's compromised because of that conversation with something that has totally nothing to do with that conversation. And that's absolutely ridiculous, sir. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense.
You've just said yourself that he only had one conversation. Now you've backtracked yourself, and now you're saying, oh, wait a minute, he only had one short conversation, when in fact there was two conversations. The first conversation that I watched myself, which was 25 minutes long, with Art Cafe online, live and streamed, which means the reality is the relationship went on way before that.
Okay. All right, let's move on. I think we've made our point with that. I think the people are intelligent to know that you're full of crap. Okay, so let me move on.
You're not doing a very good job of this, but carry on.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So your YouTube channel is really only 7 months old, thereabouts. And up until this stuff going on with our Kathy, we looked through, you were only getting like 5, 10, 15 views here, maybe 20, 30. I think the most maybe about 80. But when this stuff popped out with our Kathy in the Gambia, this has been your bread and butter. You jumped on it, and that's all you've been doing is gossiping. To be honest, I've never seen a grown man gossip as much as you do. You make more videos about Art Kathy than any other person. It's like you all stalking her. You follow her every time she puts out a video. You put out a video. But those are the only videos that wait a minute. Those are the only videos that actually get views on your channel.
Let me finish. Kathy is an articulate. She is an intelligent, a black woman. Why wouldn't I have an obsession about somebody like that? Is there a reason why I shouldn't?
Aren't you in a interracial relationship with a white woman? So don't try to act like you love black women.
To you? Does that mean something?
I mean, no, because don't try to think, don't play the role like you just love black articulate black women and you obsessed with black women, because that's not true, sir. That's not true. Let me move on. Let's move on.
My point from the audit.
My point is that you're clout chasing. You're either an agent. You're either an agent to cause division, or you're clout chasing, because none of your other, but for the past 7 months, the only YouTube videos that you have that got any substantial amount of views is the one where you're talking about Art Kathy. And now you focus and lasered in on RJ for some reason. RJ is not.
It's okay. You're not going to be able to discredit me. I don't mind. I have.
Why? Let me ask you something. Let's move on. Can we move on? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. Mr. Negro, Mr. Negro, please. Mr. Negro, do you know that it's illegal to use people's images on social media without their consent? And in your last couple of videos, you have basically taken RJ's pictures and put it on YouTube channel for your videos. So that's another clear indication that you're just clout chasing, because RJ is a well-respected person that's been out here for years, and a lot of people are involved with him and support him and what he's doing. And you take his picture and you put it on your YouTube channel, and that's illegal. You cannot take someone's image and post it on social media without their consent. Do you not know that? Your mic is, I'm sorry, your mic was muted.
Yeah, of course it is.
I didn't mute it. I'm just asking you, repeat yourself, please.
Okay. You don't want to talk about the audit because then you'll have to admit that
we can talk about the audit. We're coming to the audit.
Talk about it.
Okay, but please, I need for you to explain, why are you using RJ's likeness and images on your YouTube channel? Why are you doing that?
What are you talking about the YouTube channel for? I'm talking
because you're on YouTube talking about us. What do you
the audit, man.
Do you not? Okay. All right. Let's move back to the audit. But let me just make this point. Do you know that's illegal? That's a crime. Do you know that?
What are you talking about?
Do you know that's a crime?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's illegal to use his images without his consent.
I just did so. Sue me.
Okay, we'll handle that.
Yeah.
All right. So now, where is he? Where did he go? Hello, RJ.
You've taken me off.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Back to the audit. Let's talk about Jonathan's audit, the initial one that's the basis of your claim that Quasi did some misappropriating. Do you know, sir, that the author of that audit that you use as the basis of your allegations and claims and to do all these things that you're saying has admitted that that audit is in fact incomplete and should not be used, and that there are errors? He has said that out of his own mouth. Do you know that?
I never used it as my basis.
Sir, you got a whole video about it.
I never. I had a whole video about
saying that you saw the audit and what's in the audit. So I'm trying to figure out
what are you talking about? I have no idea what you were talking about. I have never seen any audit yet.
You haven't seen the audit? Okay.
I haven't seen not one audit. Or the only thing I've read was the Exodus Alliance's press release from the 14th of this month, which was essentially a conduit for the Exodus Alliance to slowly submerge people into believing that Art Cathy and Quasi Boyd were innocent. I could see that it was coming. And I know, you can laugh all you want, but I know what's coming next. I know what's going to be coming out of this next audit. Which, by the way, are you going to publicly show this audit? Are you going to show the audit?
In fact, the authorities will have the audit. So, yeah.
Which authorities?
The audit will be published for the parties. The parties will see the audit if they want to share it. But that's private information. But if the parties decided they want to publish their audit, that's on them. That's not up for us to do. But the attorney Chinadu in the Gambia is going to be having a discussion with the authorities. So, which I don't understand. So what I'm trying to figure out from you is, I'm still waiting for your evidence that the audit by the attorney is compromised in some way.
I think we're going around in circles. I answered this question.
No, because you've never given any. Your only evidence is a conversation that RJ had with Quasi. That's not evidence of compromising an audit today. I don't understand. An audit that RJ is not himself even conducting the audit. And an attorney.
He doesn't need to conduct the audit. All he needs to do is know the people who are. You know that as well as I do. Come on, I'm not stupid.
Okay.
And a lot of people that are watching this are not stupid either. Let's be real. All RJ needs to do is know the attorneys. All he needs to do is have some association.
So that's it.
And he will.
So that's your evidence.
Sorry?
So that's it. So I just want to be clear because I want the people to see. That's your evidence. That's it.
What are you talking about?
That's it. That is your evidence of collusion and everything. That's it. That's all you got is this.
There you go.
I mean, this is like the most. Oh my God.
Well. Let's be honest.
But anyway,
let's be honest. Let's be no.
Hello, Mr. Negro. Please turn your mic back on, sir. Turn your mic on. Mr. Negro. Mr. Negro, your mic. Mr. Negro, your mic, please turn on your. Oh, I think. Wait a minute. My bad. I think RJ is trying to show something. I know, Brother Mark. I know you didn't want Mark Brown. I know you never wanted us to bring, but I needed the people. We needed the people to see. So, I understand what you're saying, but we really needed the people to see what it is. So here is the last statement that we put out, and basically it just says that the audit is still ongoing. The attorney Shakina Chinadu is still conducting her audit. It is not concluded. And she has also informed us that she will have a second independent auditor outside of her that none of us know who that is. We'll be doing another one just to verify and check behind her. Two heads are better than one, and make sure that all her ducks were in a row and everything was done right. So that's it. We don't know the results of we don't know the results. We don't know what her report is going to say. Okay, she hasn't discussed what her report is going to say because she's not finished. She hasn't concluded it, and neither has the second independent auditor who's going to go behind her and do it again. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of our people asked us not to even bring this guy on, but some of us felt like, why not? Why not bring him on and let him, he got all this stuff to say on his channel. He's saying we compromised. He's saying RJ compromised. And now you see the basis of this compromise is that a conversation that he said he saw RJ have on Africa Day. Africa Day 2020 was back in May. There was 30 people on the panel that day. Quasi, Boy, and R. Kathy were 2 people out of 30. And from that conversation, his basis of us being compromised and in cahoots with Quasi is that conversation. Quasi Boy is not a member of any of our organizations. We have no dog in the fight. We have no reason to try to protect Quasi. I don't know Quasi. RJ only talked to the man a couple of times. Okay, so and then Chief doesn't. And
I just want to point out one thing really quick, and we're going to move on from this, guys. We're not going to dwell on this too long. We just came here to set some things straight today, to make sure that there's no question about where we stand on these types of issues. And these people in question were 2 guests on our show. Prior to that, there was no reason to doubt them as at least a guest on that show. The videos that were made in question came weeks after Africa Day. And as I showed just here a second ago, we publicly denounced that at that time. So I'm going to actually share that again. I want you guys to really take that in, soak that in, and take that to anybody who's spreading these rumors that somehow because we are getting into this as a mediator that we are in support of this. Here is the actual statement I made the day those things came out. And this actually came after a conversation I had with the sister on just through Facebook message. I directly said to her, "Hey, look, you gotta cut this back, you gotta cut this out." And when I said that, she blocked me. And once she did that, I immediately posted this statement. And as you guys can see, just under there, the first comment was Sister Ya with her cosign.
That's right.
All right, so let's go ahead and put that to bed right now, guys, and just leave the gossip for the tea parties. Let's leave the.
What I said on the last show, this is one of the 10 things that Neely Fuller Jr. said that Black people need to stop, and that's gossiping. And then all of you all that are on his channel encouraging this tomfoolery, you all are toxic. Y'all, stop it. You need to stop it. It's a sickness. Stop engaging in all this nonsense. Everybody has a right of presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Let the process complete itself. Don't be jumping to conclusions. The only reason why we said as much as we did, because we did ask Attorney Chinadu how things were looking, and she said, from what I'm saying, from everything that's been given to me, and she has everything, including that one that they called an audit that wasn't an audit because it was inconclusive. He didn't have access to all of the information. There's some errors in it that we pointed out that he admitted was wrong, and so people are using this to say Quasi did something when that audit is not admissible to anybody. The police would not use that one. You know what I'm saying? It was done by an investor. He didn't have.
And what's important to know here also.
The person who actually wrote it admits that it's not. You can't use it because
it's
incomplete.
And he's a member of the organization as well.
He's an investor.
Right, he's one of the investors. Yeah, his money is in there just as much as everybody else's. So
how can he audit?
Right.
So that's important, but I want people really to know, and this is the kind of things that are important to me, because really all of the drama and the he said, she said, these things really, it's not really my thing. Y'all never seen me go at a dramatic tirade on anything. I'm always positivity because I know how that energy is, designed to come back to you. But I just want to point out the only reason that I stepped in was because I saw a Black woman in a frantic rant about something that she said a Black man did to her. This was my initial concern. I came to the table because oftentimes we hear this misconception of Black men don't stand up for Black women. Why y'all don't support us, protect us when y'all need us. I saw a Black woman on social media screaming to the high heavens that she had been taken advantage of in some particular way. I stepped in and contacted her directly. And when I got her story, I contacted the accused directly. And when I got his story, I contacted everybody else involved that had been mentioned to make sure that we had all of the details and facts of the situation. And that is exactly what is supposed to be done. We understand that all too often we've seen where the jumping to conclusions in these types of situations have fried our brothers unfairly. We've seen that. We know it happens. So we can't contribute to that as well. We can't also be the type to be like the U.S. justice system or the U.S. law enforcement or whoever else y'all are used to dealing with your problems, because clearly they don't handle them properly.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey,
we had to do something that was community oriented, that was leadership mentality, that was protective to our community, and that sought solutions immediately. And if you guys don't respect people that do that, y'all will never understand this mission. Y'all will never understand this mission.
Two other points I want to clarify. Let me clarify two things, guys. We have seen a copy of the contract. There's nothing in those investment contracts. These are investments. And I'm going to give y'all an example of an investment because I think y'all are confused. these investment contracts do not speak to anybody having a right to have a refund of their money.
Right.
You need to understand what an investment is. When you invest your money in a company, if the company does well, you share in profits and losses. If the company does bad, if it goes belly up, then you share in the loss.
That's right.
You share in the profits when it's doing good. You share in the losses when it's doing bad. You can't say because the company is not going well, or I heard through the grapevine that you have to give me my money back. You understand that? If any of you invest, I invest. I'm invested in the stock market. I'm invested in cryptocurrency. I can't, when the stocks are performing well, I can't call the company and say, "Oh, I changed my mind. I want my money back."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get more business minded, okay?
Right.
About,
that's why education is needed in this. And a lot of people, I saw a lot of people had a lot to say about the fact that we provide these kind of services to train our brothers and sisters on business and particularly business on the continent, because this is not something you could just jump in, right? Just take your paycheck and I'm gonna just throw some money into this and hopefully I make it back. You guys need research. You need to have a real informed decision or an informed information about things, because when you put your money into some of these things, there is no getting it back. And really, to be honest, the people who snatched their money back from this particular situation with this brother and sister, you're actually kind of lucky you got your money back. And really, some are saying you're not really entitled to it. So y'all got to know the actual laws behind these things. Read your contracts. I can't stress that enough. Read first of all, write contracts. Yeah. I'm gonna just put that down, because a lot of us feel like, you my brother, you my sister, I trust you, don't worry, it's on this. No, write contracts. Anybody who knows anything about business will tell you, get your paperwork together. Write contracts. Make sure that you have contracts with these people, right? My front desk admin's got a contract, right? And everybody from all the way up the ladder to the members of this alliance that you see on this call. And so make sure that y'all are not just going into things as on this brotherly love, we all family, I trust you, I support you. Write contracts so that you can identify terms and conditions for later. So when it gets down the line, there is no, I'm supposed to be in charge of this. No, you're not. I'm in charge of that. No, you're not. You ain't got no business in that. Or these things wouldn't arise if you had a contract. Do you understand? So
even if they arise and you have a contract, you have something to fall back on.
Right.
So, I need everybody to read their contract. If any of you have a contract that says that you're entitled, an investment contract with Placey that says that you're entitled to a refund, send that over to us.
Please
so that
do.
We can try to get you a refund.
We haven't seen it. Everybody.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a contract that says anybody's entitled
I promise you.
Because you're investing into the
This
company.
is the thing. We've been saying from day one, this is a sloppy soup sandwich. Right. And people who's out there just waiting to hear the next news, following the buzz, they're just soaking all the negativity up. And the reality is that we've been professional. And I believe that when you see the rest of this audit, you're going to see that we've been proficient and that we didn't hold no punches on nobody. It ain't about art. It ain't about it
ain't about none of that.
And then,
right.
And then on top of that, we're talking about repatriation, man. We're talking about there is no structure for us. There is no sense of community. It takes a village, but where? You know what I'm saying? Somebody has the whole council. Somebody has the whole council. And that's one of the purposes. That's one of the purposes for the village, is to mediate the issues.
Exactly. That's what we're supposed to do. That's an African thing. When you see there is disharmony and confusion and infighting, then the elders or the community have to come together, try to mediate that and resolve that situation.
That is how things are done here on the ground. For those of you who don't know, if you've never been here, you've never been, that's Africa. That is as African as jollof rice. When there is a dispute, you go to the leaders in the community, the people who know you. You go to the people who can provide some type of solutions to the issues. It's not just call the police, lock them up. That's not how Africa works. Y'all got to understand, that's not how Africa works. Here
bro,
on the ground, we look out for each other. If anybody see you in the street getting mugged, everybody on that street gonna attack the mugger.
Yeah,
Do you understand
will help
me?
you.
This is not America where everybody stand back and say that's not my problem. That's not how this works. You understand? Y'all gotta really get up on y'all cultural sense, because I've been 6 years. I've been coming here almost 20 years, and I can tell you firsthand, if anything happens here, it's gonna go to mediation first. Ain't nobody throwing you to the wolves just off somebody's word. It's gonna go to mediators. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna see about it, and then they're gonna come up with a solution, and then they're gonna see the solution through. So if you say I'm gonna pay this back in a certain amount of time, those mediators are gonna be not the police, and they don't have to be a judge. Those mediators, your community leaders, the chief of your tribe, the sheikh, the marabou, the queen mother, whoever it is going to be the one to check you and be like, hey, did you pay that debt back? Right? This is how African communities grow.
Absolutely. Hey, RJ, it's important to also emphasize that we had to mediate this, or we wouldn't be responsible. And then on top of that, this mediation is not the end of our involvement in those kind of things, because it's going to continue to happen. As these things happen, we have to establish a body that the people can trust, especially those who aren't here yet. Repatriation is serious business. Now, the Exodus Alliance, while RJ is being identified as the leader and this and that, we're 6 organizations, and they're all independent with their own leadership. And so you're actually talking to an alliance. You're not talking to RJ and his companies.
Right.
You understand? So when you understand that, it's like, how the hell could the audit, independent of us, independent of Exodus Alliance, be compromised by RJ because he knows a person?
Right.
So I'm saying, and the stupidity of it is that
it's my job. It's my job to know him. I wouldn't be a responsible ambassador. I wouldn't be a responsible repatriate consultant if I didn't know other repatriates in a country 6 hours down the road doing these services. How would my clients feel if I didn't know this guy? I've seen him. I know what he does. Yes, I contacted him to see if he'd like to represent some of our particular services there in the country. No, he had not been compromised before that. And the only time after that we connected was on an Africa Day live stream. So let's put that to bed, man.
It's bad. It's over.
For us, it's over. It's done. I think we gave him an opportunity to come here and tell y'all how we've been compromised, and y'all see what his whole base.
Hey sis, listen. I wanted RJ to just shoot me in real fast because because I want to say this, man, because I know there's a lot of people out there who understand it like this. You know what I mean? You always got coons. You always got agents. You always got spies. You always got people that seeking to benefit from the drama. Now, I'll say this. I've been following this guy, and I've been following other people too. And I want to make this statement. Ever since Art Cathy began blabbing her mouth in the Gambia, there has become a group of new tubers, not YouTubers, because they're nobody. They're new tubers, and most of them are Caribbean people living in the UK or Africans living in the UK who feel like Art Cathy was disrespecting the Gambians and that they had to come in and beat her up, and so they're expecting us to hold her down and arrest her and beat her up for what she said to them without anything there. So when Phoenix Rain comes here with these complaints, it gave fuel to those who were waiting for a reason.
That was the intention. That was the intention.
That was absolutely.
Now let me. I just want to reiterate: the audit is not done.
Right.
Quasi knows the audit is not done, but I can tell you this: what Attorney Chinadu told us is that he's been very cooperative. He's opened up everything to her. He's given her everything, even his personal bank accounts. He's
hard drives.
His hard drives, everything he's given to her. So he's not acting like somebody who's trying to hide something. That's what we do know. So I'm not saying I don't know
the
what
audit. The audit. I was going to say that the audit the ultimate audit is being done by a Gambian official, from what I understand.
Right.
Yeah,
So, so,
Right.
so,
And I want to actually clear this up because I mean we all keep sharing this word. What was done first of all by our committee at the Exodus Alliance was not an audit, and it was never called an audit in any state. It was a review. It was a mediation and a review. So I want everybody to clear that up. First of all, none of us on this panel audited anything. Okay, we stepped in, we held a conversation with all parties, we got everybody's side of the story, we heard what was the actual problem, we asked for the proof of that problem, and that is the extent of what we did. The attorney stepped in and did a review of everything, all of the books, all of the content, all of everything, and it's still ongoing. This is that we weren't there. None of us are in the Gambia. All we could do from here was hold a Zoom call and mediate. And we allowed a licensed attorney in that country to do whatever was necessary further. Okay, and that process is ongoing. So let's clear that up, guys. The Exodus Alliance did not do an audit. We didn't put that in our statement. We said that we were doing a mediation. That's what we did. We did perhaps a review of the entire situation, but we handed that off to a professional to handle whatever's additional, and she hired an additional Gambian national to do a full audit. Okay,
That's
so
right.
let's clear that up.
And all of this is being done at no cost to the party.
Right,
Okay?
right. Nobody's charging them for this. Nobody forced them into any money. We didn't, pin them down and say, hey, you're going to pay us for none of that. We took time out of our busy days and companies, time that we could be spending servicing our own clients, running our own projects, doing our own thing, in order to see this thing through with results. And I just want to say really quickly, guys, let's make sure that we are vigilant. Those of us that are the true uniters, those of us that are the true lovers of this continent and the bridge that connects it with us from around the world, right? If you are a lover of that particular mission, let's be vigilant about the invaders. And a lot of times we think the invaders are, the Chinese, or, these are all these different, everybody's always talking about some different race. We got some invaders in our own race. Yeah. If anybody you see is using the majority of their time, platform, or voice to spout negativity, cancel them. Cancel them.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? If you go to their channel, don't even go support it. Don't go clicking on it. That's what they're doing.
That's
right. These people are clickbait experts. Clickbait experts release a video every day and don't do nothing else. They ain't out in the streets doing no community work. They not connecting nobody, bridging nobody. They not down here facilitating and welcoming. They not sending no money to no projects. They sitting at home somewhere in their living room in the West, in Europe, in the Netherlands, I don't know where, sitting at home in their living room on their cell phone, talking mess. Cancel them. Unsubscribe from them. Don't click on their nonsense. People be sending me all these videos. I don't click on them. I don't click on the brother we just had on this show. I promise you, I only watched one full video of his, and I've been sent at least 5 of them. I don't even click on them. I don't want him to have my view, and y'all should think the same way. These people are only here to bring the division. If you ain't been in the game longer than a few months and you already talking drama, we know you ain't about nothing. You ain't got enough clout or credentials or experience or work in this game to tell us what to think or to tell us who to trust or to tell us what the facts are on something that you are thousands of miles away from. Now, that's all I'm gonna say on that, guys.
And let me give y'all a definition here. It says I looked up the definition of a Negropean, and keep in mind that he says he's unapologetically a Negropean.
You're unapologetic.
Unapologetically a Negropean. It says African American, but Negro could be any Black American in the UK and in the Netherlands. Is a Black person that knowingly or unknowingly perpetrates the agenda of elitism, colonialism, Puritanism, or other race-biased platforms. That's the definition of a Negropean. And this brother labeled himself as that and said he is that unapologetically. Now that's
Oh
something
yeah.
y'all need to think about. And y'all running
Imagine.
on his platform and supporting him and agreeing with a person who says that he unapologetically is a Negro pen, which is a black person who
Hey,
perpetuates the agenda of elitism, colonialism, puritanism, and other race-biased platforms. So y'all need to think about that. That's who he says he
absolutely.
is. We didn't
And
call him that. He called himself that. And he
and
said he's
and
that unapologetically.
yeah,
Sad.
and if you dig in, you realize that his wife or significant other is a white woman. And you also, if you dig into him, you'll see that he's been sowing division between African American repats and Caribbean repats. That's what he's trying to do. He's
And
actually
that's something that
he's
I want
actually
to address seriously, because that is how these kind of things start. We gotta remember, what is at stake here, right? And when you take these kind of individuals who draw this division between nationalities, tribes, this kind of thing, you know for a fact that is somebody who is an
yeah.
agent for negativity.
He
I want to
called you
point
a
something
foreigner.
out.
He
Right,
called you
right,
a
right,
foreigner, man.
right. And this is something that I've never had this perspective shared to me really before, actually, this whole situation. But I have tons of partners, members, clients, team members that are based in the UK that are great people that connect with us on the ground. We literally gave a tour last year to the Gambia with multiple British African people. Okay, brought them to the Gambia last year, showed them business developments, showed them opportunities, showed them a great time, and sent them home happy and safe and healthy. So don't try to sow this division of African Americans against UK. Y'all, my brothers and sisters, like all the rest of us. All right, I'm gonna just let that be known right here. I don't care if you're from the islands, right? My family is from the islands. Y'all ask about me. My family is from St. Lucia and
That's
Barbados.
right.
If you think we anything different, get your mind right. My family is from St. Lucia and Barbados. Okay, my
Yeah.
British
Yeah.
brothers and sisters, we
I want,
family.
I want, RJ, I wanted to tell them the wise words of Dr. Milana here. And Dr. Milana is the founder and president of the Ministry of the Future here in Ghana, and he's been behind the push to get the government to give our people their citizenship. So far, he's helped quite a number of people. Those groups of people y'all seeing the Ghanaian president giving citizenship to, that's been from the efforts of Dr. Milana and his team. So just on November the 7th, we had a town hall meeting to discuss the right of return and how we need to organize ourselves to, deal with government so that we get our people get on a fast track to citizenship. And Dr. Milana made this point. He said, tribalism in Africa is here. It's not going to go away. You have to accept that and understand that. And he said, and you have to understand that us coming from the diaspora to the continental Africa. Now, Dr. Milana has been living here 40 years, okay? So I think he kind of knows what he's talking about. But what he said was, to continental Africans, we in the diaspora are a tribe of our own. We are a tribe, and we have to conduct ourselves accordingly. So this is one of the things. So when these people were all on the internet arguing and going back and forth and making accusations against each other, and the whole world looking at it, and the continental Africans were looking at it,
Right.
it reflects on all of us, even you all who are in the comment section. It reflects on you because you're a member of this tribe. You understand what I'm saying? And so it was making all of us look bad. It has absolutely nothing to do with our businesses and our programs and no. As a person coming from the diaspora, these people, they, in a lot of ways, they look up to us. And then these people all on the internet acting a whole damn fool, and it was embarrassing. Y'all know, I gave you an example of how, I know in the States, I don't know how anybody else is, but in the States, when we hear about somebody committing a crime and they don't show the picture yet, something disgusting, heinous crime, and they haven't shown the picture yet, the first thing every black person says in their mind is, please don't let them be black. You know what I'm saying? Because we take that as something on us, a reflection on all of us as a group. So this is the exact same thing that was happening with this nonsense. It was reflecting on all of us as repatriates. It was making all of us look bad. So much so to the point where people in government, and that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all think it's just internet banter, and y'all looking at it because it's entertaining. Y'all, I think a lot of y'all were being entertained by this. I don't see how, but you were, and you were feeding into it, and you don't know that continental Africans, not only were the common people looking at it, but government people were looking at it and saying things about it. And it reflects on when you come in here and you're saying, make room for us, include us, accept us. And then they see this type of stuff going on with people acting a whole damn fool. It's not a good look. We need y'all to stop participating in that stuff. Stop feeding into it. Stop. Right. If you ignore these people when they do these things, they will go away.
And it's not even just ignore them. I mean, I think even the message should be to those people who have these issues, right? Going to social media should never be your go-to. I don't care what the issue is. I've been through amazing challenges in 6 years on the ground. You would never guess how many, of these types of situations have come and gone, but they were handled with some decorum. And that's all that's missing from, this particular situation and other things I've seen. Just have some decorum. That's all. We're not asking you to, cover up for nobody. We're not asking you to hide the truth. We're not asking you to take any kind of position of bias. All we're saying is have some decorum. If you have a dispute with somebody, don't go blasting it online. And that's even in America. That's anywhere. That's anywhere in the world. If me and another person have a dispute, an argument, whatever, words get thrown around, walls get punched, or we're angry, right? It should never be your instinct to take that and go start blasting it in a public forum, having people all super worried and, going into this kind of prejudgment. Go to the authorities, even if you didn't want an independent review, even if that was not what was in the cards for you, just have some decorum and go ahead and report it to the authorities if you feel that that's the best way. If you feel in danger, if you feel that it's gone too far, if you feel that you may be liable, you feel there's criminal negligence, if you feel any of this, just go ahead and take it to the authorities. But taking it to the height of the online sensation only creates further problems in the process, because now you have all these different opinions, all of these different perspectives. Everybody wants to offer some type of advice. Everybody wants to get involved. And now you have a situation where you cannot control it anymore. So what needs to be controlled first is ourselves. We have to learn to control ourselves. Okay? Just let's handle these things with some type of professionalism. And then you want to start a business. You can't have a dispute with one person without a whole blow up, but then you want people to trust you in business after that.
Talk it.
What experience? What have you shown us to tell us that you know how to handle business? You've handled it sloppy. You've gone all public and created this frenzy. The both of you are back and forth. I wouldn't trust either one of you with business. I'm just be real honest. I'm a straight up guy. My folks know me. My team members know me. My members, the people that I work with, they know me. I'm a straight up guy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Either this guy is straight, boom, 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 or nah, let's go a different route. And after seeing what I've seen, there's no way in a million years that I would suggest a family put their livelihood and safety of a transition back to Africa in the hands of either one of these people. I'm gonna just be real with you. This just shows sloppiness, that's all. And we came in to just try and mediate so that there wasn't any, violence and these type of things, allegations that were made. And what we really stepped into was just a whole soupy, sloppy mess. And that's not what we're here for. We're not here to clean up your messes. We're not here to be your janitor, right? We're here to see that everybody who lands on this soil is comfortable, is safe, is seen about, is in the right company, is having the resources they need for sustainability, right? These are our concerns. This is all we care about. I put my life on the line for this. All of everybody, we put our life on the line for this to make sure. If it can't nobody tell you they put their life and their safety in my hand, and I brought them here and I put them in any kind of situation of hinder. Can't nobody tell. And I brought dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people here. They can all tell you. You can see us on video, photos, everywhere. So let's handle ourselves with some decorum, some professionalism, man. That's all I can support, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
you know, I think that it's definitely
But
when
we
we're talking about expanding this the Exodus Alliance and getting more people actually trained in repatriation and investment, consultancy and facilitation. That is exactly what we need to make repatriation happen. I've been here almost 8 years. RJ's been here almost 6 years. Sister Yah just got back, but she been here way back in 2013. You understand? Like, we're not playful people. We are the ones who already said, middle finger to America, we're going home. And so, and you know, a lot of people was here before us, but they didn't build anything for us.
And they didn't reach out and help nobody.
They didn't do this. And so we understand that we're solving the problems of future repatriates now, and that in the midst of that, we have people who's looking at the business aspect and trying to come home and get paid, and they don't have the qualifications. So if you are a person that think you want to come to Africa, get down with the team. When you come, at least you know that you ain't got to worry about being homeless. You ain't got to worry about being hungry. You with a team that's going to advise you. You with family.
And let me say, it's likening to let's say there's a big river between point A and point B, a huge wide river, right? I get to that river and I swim across that river through the shark infested waters, get to the other side and build a whole bridge all the way back to side A. And then you come to the shore of side A, see that there's a bridge right there that can get you across these waters clearly and safely without trouble, and you go, nah, man, I want a bridge of my own. And you just dive in the water and get to swimming.
There you go. Call it out.
What are we doing? We built the bridge for y'all to have some type of resources. We built the bridge so you don't get here and be in bad situations. We built the bridge so that there's some type of accountability, some type of resource support behind these kinds of companies. We're not saying don't do it. We're saying use the bridge so we can make it easier for you, so that everybody back home don't see you swimming across the water getting nipped at by sharks. We built the bridge. That's all. Just take the bridge. We offer services. Yes, that is a portion of what we do. We do a considerable amount of things, but we do offer services for you to be able to have professional consulting and support behind you during this process. Before you come here, there's a lot of research necessary. I keep seeing a lot of people saying, you know, don't send no money to Africa. Just, you know, show up, wait till you get there and see for yourself. I mean, it's too late because then everything in your pocket, you getting raped with the tourist prices. Now, let's just be smart, right? There is a considerable amount of research. I came here 19 years ago, and it still took me and my wife 2 years to research coming here again in 2014. And that's with family here on the ground, with a community to receive me, with knowledge of the place. It still took me 2 years of research from 2012 to 2014 before I made my trip. Now we're here on the ground. We've done all the research. We've connected with the legitimate, licensed professionals that can see you through, that can pick you up from the airport in a licensed, insured vehicle. Not just, oh, I know somebody there, he said he gonna come get me, I don't know. And then you jump in an uninsured car. Ain't no healthcare out here. What? Get in an accident. You gotta pay cash for that. Like, for real. Y'all gotta start thinking smart. Like, this is a whole nother country. We're talking about another continent, right? So we're already here. We've already suffered through the muddy waters. We've already taken all the beating that can be taken. We already failed and got up and failed and got up again.
That's right.
We've
already seen what it takes. And we've all been acknowledged, accepted, co-signed by legitimate organizational structures here on the ground. We're talking about government administrations. We're talking about multinational companies. We're talking about, you know, community leaders. We're talking about You know, we're not just, we didn't show, none of us just showed up here and just started the opportunity. It's not how this works. And I want y'all to really get out of that mentality. Take the steps that we help you with. If you want to come here as just a repatriate, you're not looking to get into this kind of business, etc., we can help you. We have a path for that. We can consult you before you come. We can help find you properties, homes, legitimate real estate properties before you come. We can have them vetted. We can go and see them and take pictures and videos so you get a better idea what they look like. We can send you paperwork and make sure that you're moving into places that are solidified. We can do that for you. So when you arrive, it's not, I'm going to stay in a hotel for 10 days so I can look around and see what I like. No, you're wasting a whole lot of money. And you probably still going to get ripped off.
Yeah.
Just being real with you, we already have made those contacts. It's ignorance, and it's not your fault. We're not insulting you. We're just saying you just don't know what you're getting yourself into, and we do, and we can help you get through that.
Hey, RJ, that's right on, because you know what? If I've never been to Atlanta and I come down there, I'm going to need somebody to help me out. I'm going to need somebody like show me where to get a hotel or let me lodge with them. You know,
right? And better yet, like, and you came to Atlanta, but from South Africa.
Yeah, exactly. From a whole other country.
The traffic law is different, right? The government is different. The law, it's all different. Everything is different.
You need a guide. You need a guide.
And if you're looking, you need somebody to tell you where the best hospitals are.
Right. What doors to walk through and what doors not to.
The best schools for your kids. All of these type of things, you know.
Right. How to get your business registered. We talked about that on our last show about making sure your business is registered. Get you guys your tax number. Make sure you get your bank accounts here. These are things that are imperative, but they are not so easy for somebody who's just here on their own. I'm telling you, there are people who have come here thinking that they can do it on their own, and they end up calling me 2 weeks in. Brother, I just waste so much money in this Airbnb. I ain't found nothing. I'm getting to run around. The language, man. I'm going to just join your club now so you can help me. I'm like, you just spent how much at the Airbnb? You could have put that into a business. You could have probably paid up 6 months of rent with that. You understand what I'm saying? We could have saved you that trouble. So, save yourself the trouble, man. The bridge is already built. You don't got to reinvent the wheel. It may cost you a little bit, but make that investment in yourself. And we're not telling you to invest in us. We're not telling you to invest in our companies to own a piece. We're not telling you, invest in, some project or promise. No, we're offering you a membership to our ongoing consulting. And it's not just the 3 people you see on this call. We've all got teams in multiple countries, including the Gambia, professionals, licensed, long-standing, who can assist you with your professional goals here or with your relocation. All right, you pay a lifetime membership. All right, it's $1,000 for a lifetime membership. We're not trying to recur and take money out your bank account every month. We're not trying to worry about you got to renew next year. We're not trying to worry about you got to get everything you need done in a year so you don't have to pay next year. Right? Don't worry about all of that. Make a contribution. It's $1,000, the first investment you should make in this journey. Once you make that journey, you are entitled to ongoing consultation. You are added to our collective group with hundreds of other members who are all working on the same thing. Everybody's sharing info. Everybody's contributing. You have access to real estate properties in all the countries that we operate in. You have access to business setup and development right here on the ground. If you want to register, you can do it from afar. You don't have to be here. We can do it for you. You can actually set up your business right now, and by the time you get here, you can go ahead and go straight into operations. We can make it. We can make your life that easy. There's a membership. You can contact anybody on this panel and say, "Hey, I'd like that ongoing membership." Right? Pay your $1,000, $999. From there, you don't have to worry about anything else. Whatever you want on the ground, we'll help you to find it. And when we find it, we help you find it. We'll help you to close on it. We'll help you to facilitate it. We'll help you to invest in it. We'll help you to manage it, overlook it. You understand? You don't have to do this alone. I could not have done this alone. Yeah. Right? My closest support here on the ground, somebody who's made all of this possible that you guys never even rarely see, is my brother Ibrahim Lowe, my brother Pop Lowe. Since day one, we started this project, it was with a local Senegambian brother. One of his parents is Gambian, one of his parents is Senegalese, and his wife is an American. He spent years in Dubai doing business. He's been to multiple countries, born overseas actually, and he is our connection here on the ground that makes sure that we're not slipping up. That's covering our back. That's going the extra mile to translate and to represent our people. And anybody who's been here to visit us, you can talk to any one of our clients that have been here. They gonna tell you, Pop Low, like looked out for us on the ground. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that is necessary. We have to connect. This is not something we can do on our own. This is not about isolating ourselves. This is not about coming here and taking over. This is not about coming here and, you know, showing people up or using our egos to position ourselves. That's not what this is about. This is about us coming here, connecting with our brothers and sisters, partnering hand in hand, learning from each other, teaching each other, making sure each other's straight, right? That's what this is about. And if you're not about that, do not contact me. Do not contact me, because we're going to make sure that you know, you don't succeed in any division if it's through us. That's on God.
Yeah. Well, I think this has been a very, very, very good and informative show. I'm glad the people, you know, we were really, I don't know, we were for a minute going back and forth on whether or not to have this guy on, but I think ultimately it was a good decision because people needed to see the nonsense, you know. So, and also, guys, listen, I see this one person you keep going in the chat saying do your own research. You can look all this stuff online. You don't need any assistance from these people. Okay, listen, do it yourself.
Yeah,
do
please.
it yourself. Do it yourself.
Good luck.
Ain't no skin off and do it yourself.
Right.
You know.
You know what? Let me tell you, sis. Right?
It's not impossible, but you will definitely be taking the more difficult route to your goal. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you gotta understand, like, there's more than just business interests, man. We ain't talking about making no money. We're talking about literally bringing our people back. You know what I'm saying? We blow a stack in America like nothing.
Right. On purses,
on
shoes.
I'm talking about. Look at
PlayStation, cell phones.
RJ came.
I see Miss African Root said she's done it herself, and she.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
I was just pointing out. I wanted RJ to post what the sister said. She said, having done it herself, she realizes that it would have been helpful to have had a network.
No, I do see that. That's right. I'm telling you, we hear it all the time. You don't gotta take my word for it. If somebody tell you, hey, look, don't go that route. It's dangerous that route. It's wolves in there, and then you be like, nah, whatever. I'll brave it on my own, and then you get eat. It's not really.
Ain't no skin off our back if you don't just do it. I mean, if you feel like you can do it on your own, good luck.
We love our people, and that's why we do what we do. And if you can't tell that, then you know you gotta get a little closer to your spiritual self, perhaps, because you know this is something that comes from here. And if you don't have it here, it shows. Everybody knows. People can tell. It's here on the ground. People know if you are genuine or not. And you know if you're not coming back with that heart, trust me, it's gonna be difficult for you. We've seen it happen, and we want to help people to avoid those kind of dramatic scenarios. So, guys, that brings us to the end of our show today. We are so thankful to have all of you viewers tune in. We want to let it be known that right now we are putting this thing to bed. We're not discussing this anymore. We did want to clear up what we cleared today. We're moving on. This issue is somebody else's issue from this point on, so we're taking our hands off of it. We'll let those folks in the Gambia, take it how they need to take it, and hopefully they find a solution. We want to let this be a lesson to everybody out there. Let's all be united. Let's cast out the divide, the division, and let's come together for solutions. That's what this is all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say, the audit, in terms of how soon can people look forward to hearing the conclusion from our mediation?
To be honest, it looks like our mediation part of it is concluded because the parties involved have taken their own route. One party involved feels as if because whatever reason that we aren't credible enough to do it. So she's decided to go her own route. So I'm taking my hands off of it. It's not a concern of mine anymore. We will let the team in the game. If Shakina Chindu wants to continue, that's on her. She's independent of us. She's not a part of this Exodus Alliance, and we just wish those folks the best. So for everybody out there, be good, stay safe. I hope you guys are keeping healthy so that we can see you here on the ground here in the near future. And as always, guys, Africa is for Africans. Come home.
That's right.
It's Exodus time.
Let's go.
Black power. Black power.